As of right now, the biggest debate surrounding the passing of Pop Smoke is whether or not it was set up. Now let's go into depth on how he truly passed, and I want you to be the judge. Now let's get straight into this. Now, back on February 19th of 2020, it was announced that Pop Smoke sadly passed due to a home invasion involving 4 people breaking into Pop Smoke's Airbnb. The 4 people found out where Pop Smoke was staying due to an Instagram story that Pop Smoke posted earlier in the day. As shown on screen, the Airbnb's address are all over the receipts of some of the designer clothes, as well as an Instagram post of Pop and his friend Mike D out in front of the Airbnb, pretty much showing the house number in one of the pictures. Now Pop Smoke and Mike D, they were out there doing business and just enjoying themselves. They were out buying flashy clothing and expensive jewelry. Now these 4 men, they went to invade Pop Smoke's Airbnb for these designer goods and the cash that he was flexing prior on Instagram. We now found out what actually happened on the night of Pop Smoke's passing, and well, here it is. Now these 4 men, they breached the Airbnb through a 2nd floor balcony, as the main doors of the house were locked. These men were wearing ski masks and gloves, which made the fingerprints and gathering evidence for law enforcement very difficult, as these 4 men also avoided main roads on getting to Pop Smoke's Airbnb, so they were not caught on surveillance cameras that are inside of stoplights at the intersections. Now one of the 4 men was actually below the age of 18. This certain individual, turns out he's the actual person who committed the act towards Pop Smoke. Now these 4 men, as I mentioned, breached the Airbnb through the balcony. They tiptoed throughout the hallway of the house until noticing that Pop Smoke was actually in the shower at the time. According to the report, it stated that the underage individual admitted that they asked Pop Smoke for the jewelry while he was in the shower. Pop Smoke was then very startled and didn't really know what to do. Now the jewelry they're actually referring to is a diamond studded Rolex, as well as a huge Cuban link chain as well. Now Pop Smoke initially started doing what they asked. He started slowly taking off the Cuban link chain as well as the Rolex. One of the intruders then told him thank you while reaching for the jewelry, and then that's when Pop Smoke was handing over the chain and started to defend himself with it. Now this started a massive brawl in the bathroom. It later ended up going into the hallway, and it was basically these 4 individuals against 1 Pop Smoke. So with a massive brawl happening in the bathroom and the hallway, a lady who was staying with Pop Smoke at the time actually then poked her head out of her room to see what was even going on. That's when one of the 4 men ended up putting a firearm towards her, told her to be quiet and close her eyes. She then ran straight back into her bedroom, slammed the door shut, and locked it. It wasn't until later that she mentioned that she saw 2 of those men kicking Pop Smoke while he fell onto the ground, while the other 2 were grabbing the jewelry off of Pop Smoke's neck and wrist. Once grabbing the jewelry, they ended up making a run for it out of the house, and well, all of this information is now coming out as an individual who remains nameless due to his age ended up admitting to doing the act towards Pop Smoke during a recorded interview with a planted cellmate at a juvenile detention center. He admitted that he was the only one who used a firearm on that night, which now makes the case very easy for sentencing. Now here is where people believe that it was a setup. And I also want to mention, Pop Smoke's actual real life brother also believes that it was a setup. At the start of the video, you heard me mention a man named Mike D. He was actually staying with Pop Smoke on that night, and as well as he might have been in a relationship with that lady, or that lady was with Pop Smoke. That part was never confirmed. But during the entire brawl going on in the shower, to the hallway, firearms being used, people screaming, these 4 men that broke into the Airbnb did absolutely nothing to Mike D or the female that literally saw these 4 men going at Pop Smoke. The question is, where was Mike D during this situation? As of right now, the rumor is that Mike knew that these 4 men were coming. He gave the information about Pop Smoke being in the shower, so they knew exactly where to go once breaching the Airbnb through the balcony. And if it was so easy for these 4 men to go at Pop Smoke due to Pop Smoke being outnumbered, why did they do absolutely nothing to a witness at the scene? Like, the lady in the room that poked her head out saw all 4 of these men and literally saw the entire thing. Isn't that just a little bit strange that they didn't do anything to a witness? Now, thankfully, they didn't do anything to her, but it's definitely strange how Pop Smoke was the only target in the entire Airbnb. These 4 men allegedly only went after Pop Smoke due to the Instagram photos, due to them having the address in it, as well as showing the designer clothing in cash. They can also clearly see Mike in the Instagram photo with Pop Smoke, so they knew that Pop Smoke was not the only man in that house at that time. When they first breached the Airbnb, it was said by the lady who poked her head out that all 4 men were going at Pop Smoke. You wouldn't think that they would split up knowing that there's another man in the house. And again, I need to emphasize that this is a conspiracy theory. Nothing I said has been proven. There could be a logical reason as to why Mike didn't run out wherever he was to defend Pop Smoke. So I want to make that clear. People believe that Pop Smoke was set up by Mike D due to who knows what. Money that was inside of the Airbnb, chains that were on Pop Smoke or that he had in his collection. Nobody truly knows. The only thing that these robbers ended up actually getting away with was Pop Smoke's necklace as well as his watch. And the saddest thing ever was that it was said in court that the diamond-studded Rolex was then sold on the street for $2,000. It was said that while in court, when Pop Smoke's mom heard the news of the watch only being sold for $2,000, she completely broke down in court. And if you think about it, we just lost probably one of the most talented, newest rappers that we have had in the industry for a very long time over a robbery for a watch that they sold on the street for $2,000. Very, very sad stuff. If you guys have an opinion on the Pop Smoke situation, let me know in the comments. And again, this is a conspiracy theory. My personal opinion, if Mike D was in the house and he was hiding because he heard the firearm being used, I can honestly believe if he was given the chance over again, he definitely would have ran out from wherever he was and would have defended Pop Smoke in that situation. Anyways guys, it's been District Trending. I'm ending the video here and I'm out. Peace.